In 2019, the Bureau of Corrections became the center of everyone's focus after convicted rapist and murderer, ex-Mayor Antonio Sanchez, was rumored to be leaving the Bilibid complex. Let's take a look back at the so-called GCTA for sale scheme that grabbed the headlines a couple of months back.
Nobody pretty much minded Republic Act 10592 when it was passed in 2013. The measure amended certain provisions of the revised penal code on criminal liability, particularly the grant of time allowance for convicts who shall exhibit good conduct while behind bars. RA 10592 basically expanded the application of the good conduct time allowance law to provide additional sentence deductions for certain deeds like teaching or mentoring. This legislation flew under the radar for the most part until rumors circulated that former Calauan, Laguna Mayor Antonio Sanchez, who has been convicted of the murder and rape of UP Los Baños student Eileen Sarmenta and the murder of another UP Los Baños student Alan Gomez. He was sentenced to a maximum of 40 years in jail or until 2035. But thanks to the amendments to the GCTA law, he almost walked out of jail. Almost. But a massive public backlash forced the Corrections Bureau to reconsider the facts. The Sarmenta family couldn't believe how Sanchez qualified for time allowance due to good conduct when several contraband were discovered in his cell.
Sino magbabouch dyan sa kanyang well-behaved?
At one point, Justice Secretary Minardo Guevara said it shouldn't even matter if the former mayor behaved well inside the Bilibid or not. He explained those convicted of heinous crimes like Sanchez are disqualified from the benefits of GCTA in the first place. But some legal experts disagreed. Thus began a long debate on the wording of the GCTA law, which was resolved by both sides agreeing that the original text of the legislation was confusing. This prompted lawmakers to set up a technical working group to amend the controversial measure to clear up any confusion.
First of all, it should not only be the Bureau of Corrections chief who will make the decision on who o kung sino man ang pwedeng nilang ipalaya o hindi.
While the law was being amended, Sanchez remained in jail. The DOJ and the DILG temporarily suspended the processing of inmates' GCTA to give way for the review in the law. Problem was, 2,000 other heinous crimes convicts have been released by virtue of the questionable law since 2013. To correct this so-called wrongful application of the GCTA law, the PNP announced that it will launch a manhunt to rearrest those who have benefited from the measure. In light of all these controversies, President Duterte sacked Bucor Chief Nick Faeldon in September after months of vouching for the man's integrity.
I'm demanding the resignation of Faeldon. Faeldon has to go because Faeldon disobeyed my order.
Duterte also gave an ultimatum to heinous crimes convicts who were, quote, wrongly freed.
I will give you 15 days liberty, provided you make yourself available any time that you will be called for investigation to have a recomputation. If you do not, then beginning at this hour, you are a fugitive. 1 million per head kayo. Dead or alive.
As authorities scrambled to bring back the inmates, lawmakers began their probe into the controversial GCTA law. They zeroed in on one question raised the first time the issue broke out.
Did money talk there?
Some lawmakers said yes, most likely. Senate President Tito Soto and Senator Ping Lacson claimed that corrections personnel may have been making money off of the GCTA grants. They nicknamed the purported scheme GCTA for sale. The Senate Committee on Justice presented its first witness, Yolanda Camilon, who claimed that officers offered to free her convicted husband in exchange for 50,000 pesos.
Sabi ko sa kanya, paano po ba ang sistema natin yan? Ito naman ma'am, hindi naman to agad-agad yung ibibigay. Kung wala kayong pera, pwede naman tong staggered. Natuwa po ako kasi meron palang hulugan na pwede kong kayanin.
Another state witness, Rafael Ragos, confirmed these accusations and said there are actually a whole lot of ways that Bucor officials and even the DOJ profit from inmates in Bilibid. The former co-accused of Senator Laila de Lima said these include smuggling in of prostitutes or tilapias, and kidnapping visitors in exchange for ransom. NBI Intelligence Officer Jovencio Ablen Jr. also claimed to have witnessed the turnover of profits from the illegal schemes to former Justice Secretary Laila de Lima. While these Senate sessions were ongoing, the Joint Review Committee was able to submit the revised implementing rules and regulations of the GCTA. Stated clearly therein that heinous crimes convicts are no longer qualified to receive GCTA grants. This completely shattered ex-Mayor Sanchez's hope of getting released early. But the Senate probe on the controversial law that gained infamy because of him continued. Whistleblower Yolanda Camilon's testimonies regarding the so-called GCTA for sale scheme were gaining traction, helped by the inconsistent arguments of the defendants. After looking at the two Bucor employees' phone records, the NBI concluded that Bansil and Bunyo were indeed in constant communication with whistleblower Yolanda Camilon. The NBI also narrated the contents of a message deleted from Bunyo's phone, which mentioned the name of Eldon.
Deleted messages extracted from the mobile phone of Veronica Bunyo revealed a text message from Benilda Bansil, which states that, open quotation, mas pinag-uusapan GCTA badge. Babalasahin na naman Bucor, saka si Paildon, itinanggi ang pirma niya, iba pirma naman niya talaga yun.
Another witness, former CIDG chief and now Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong, came forward. Not only did he verify the Chamber's findings on the so-called GCTA for sale law, he also opened up a whole can of worms that led lawmakers to an investigation into what we now know as ninja cops. For News 5, Maricel Halili, we are One News.